On Global TV News Prime, Senate to screen new INEC chairman tomorrow. In business, Nigeria's headline inflation eases to 18.02%. And on the foreign scene, former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga dies at 80. And in sports, Super Eagles set for Gabon's clash in World Cup playoffs. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The Senate will on Thursday screen Professor Josiah Ampton, President Bola Tinubu's nominee for the position of chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The announcement was contained in a circular issued on Wednesday by the Director of Information of the Senate, Bola Audu Bi Allah, and made available to journalists in Abuja. The development comes less than 24 hours after Tinubu's letter seeking Amupitan's confirmation was read on the Senate floor by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. According to the circular, the screening will take place in the Senate chamber of the National Assembly complex. Rivers State Governor Doye Diri has formally resigned from the People's Democratic Party (PDP, marking a major political shakeup in the state's leadership. The governor announced his decision during a meeting at the Executive Council chamber of the Bayelsa Government House, though he did not disclose his next political destination. His exit, which comes barely 24 hours after Enugu State Governor Peter Umba defected to the All Progressive Congress (APC), was endorsed by 23 members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, including the Speaker signaling a possible mass realignment ahead of the next political cycle. Immediate past national chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has congratulated Governor Peter Umba of Enugu State for his bold decision to defect the ruling party. Describing the decision as one that is progressive, the former Kano State governor stated that Governor Umba has shown conviction, clarity, and courage, noting that he has chosen national alignment over division in the interest of the people of Enugu State. On his part, Governor Umba explained that his decision to join the APC was informed by the need to reshape Enugu and reorganize the politics of the state.
This movement is not a whimsical decision. It is a collective decision. It is the entire political family in Enugu State that have now migrated to the progressive. Your Excellency, today is indeed a special day in the history of this state. Today begins a march from the margins. It marks an end of being on the sideline.
Dr. Ganduje further said Governor Umba's move was from the People's Democratic Party to the APC further demonstrates that true leadership is not defined by personal comfort or political conveniences, but by the firm resolve to place the welfare of the future of the people above all else. Over now to the Federal Capital Territory, Minister Nyesom Wike says he will soon declare his political party affiliation. The minister stated this at the official flag-off of construction of the main carriageway of Outer Southern Expressway OSEC within the FCT. Kabir Hassan tells us more.
At the flag-off ceremony attended by dignitaries, top government officials, eminent personalities across the country, the FCT minister said he is set to reveal the political platform he will align with. He said the timing will depend on when conditions are right, hinting at strategic calculation ahead of the upcoming election.
I'm very happy, but very soon I will speak to Nigerians. I've been watching on daily televisions and social media people who said, I want to destabilize the party. I'm working for APC. All of them now are in APC.
The minister shifting focus to the project at hand, unveiling roads, infrastructure, describing how the work will benefit residents, ease traffic, and boost development across the FCT, while commending President Bola Tinubu of his agenda, stating that Renewed Hope agenda has been impactful to Nigerians.
So for us, every promise made by this administration under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. President, be assured that we shall fulfill all the promises we have made to the people of the FCT.
Wike's dual message today underscores a balancing act, the promise of new political clarity paired with continuous commitment to delivering infrastructure in the nation's capital. Nigerians will be watching closely for his party declaration and for the real impact of this project. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
The acting chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, May Agbamuche Umbu, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to deepening transparency and credibility in Nigeria's electoral system. She gave the assurance while addressing civil society organizations during INEC's quarterly consecutive meeting in Abuja. Over now to Sadia Yakubu reports for Global.
Agbamuche Umbu, who presided over the session, says the engagement with civil society is crucial for strengthening public confidence and accountability in the electoral process. She commended the civil society organizations for their active participation and continued collaboration with the Commission. Agbamuche Umbu highlighted the continuous voter registration exercise which began in August, noting that turnout has been encouraging across the country. She stressed the process is key to promoting inclusive voter participation ahead of future elections. She further disclosed that INEC has received 171 applications from groups seeking registration as political parties, out of which 14 associations met the criteria to proceed to the next stage in line with the law and INEC guidelines.
The Commission has released a timetable and schedule of activities for the other elections, and some of the activities have already been carried out. The latest being the commencement of campaign by political parties in Anambra State and the FCT.
Representing civil society, Ezenwa Nwagu emphasized the need for improved oversight of subnational elections, noting that the integrity of resident electoral commissioners and returning officers is vital to credible polls.
It's important that a lot of premium is paid on the foot soldiers in Anambra, and by that I mean the resident electoral commissioners and the electoral officers who will be, administering that election.
With the continuous engagement between INEC and civil society, expectations remain high that such collaborations will further strengthen transparency and public trust ahead of future elections. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Kenya declares 7 days of mourning for former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Prime on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business stories now, Nigeria is set to officially assume the chairmanship of the Intergovernmental Group of 24, also called G24, on November 1st, 2025, taking over from Argentina. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, announced a development on its official X handle, describing it as a major milestone that underscores the country's growing influence among developing economies. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the circumstances surrounding the abandoned $35 million modular refinery project in Brass, Bayelsa State, 4 years after huge financial commitments were made to the project without any visible progress. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance moved by Billy Osawaru, Edo State. National Assembly correspondent Anete Patrick tells us more. We apologize, that report will be brought in our subsequent bulletin. Nigeria's headline inflation rate eased to 18.02% in September compared to 20.12% in August. This was disclosed by the National Bureau of Statistics on Wednesday, indicating the 60th consecutive month of deceleration in inflation. According to NBS, on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 14.68%, lower than the rate recorded in September 2024. 32.70%, showing that the headline inflation rate year-on-year basis decreased in September 2025 compared to the same month in the preceding year. Experts have warned that Nigeria's growing food crisis demands urgent, coordinated government intervention, as over 33 million citizens are now facing acute food insecurity. This is a situation recently highlighted by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. Zara Nasiru has details.
The inability to consistently access safe and nutritious food is tightening its grip on millions of Nigerians. The worsening situation has been linked to multiple factors, including poverty, climate change, conflicts, and rising food prices that continue to push families into hunger. Economic shocks, poor infrastructure, and post-harvest losses further compound the crisis, making it difficult for many households to afford even basic meals.
As issues to be addressed. One, why acute hunger? What is the protective mechanisms for the farmer security? Because we can't be talking of food security when we are not talking of the farmer security. What are the implementation factors? What are the indices on this farmer security? What is really farmer security? Because a lot of people don't even know what is farmer security.
Professor Ibrahim Abubakar warns that merely declaring a state of emergency on food insecurity will yield little result without a clear master plan and measurable strategies to achieve food sufficiency.
The first thing is to bring back the call for farmer security. Let's discuss it. Let's have another roadmap. After all, the first roadmap has already elapsed because it's supposed to be, it has to go back to the drawing board. Modernization has come. So many things have gone obsolete. So it has to bring eggheads together who will discuss these issues.
Stakeholders insist that addressing the root causes from climate change and economic instability to limited access to agricultural resources is key to ensuring lasting food security for Nigerians. As millions continue to struggle for daily sustenance, experts say only bold, evidence-based policies can reverse the growing hunger trend across the nation. Zahra Nasir, reporting for Global TV News.
On the foreign scene now, Kenya President William Ruto has declared 7 days of national mourning following the death of veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga. Ruto described the late Odinga as a giant of democracy and one of Africa's greatest sons, announcing that a state funeral will be held in his honor.
I have declared a 7-day period of national mourning, during which the national flag shall fly at half-mast across the Republic of Kenya and in all our missions abroad. As a mark of respect, I have postponed all my public engagements for the coming days, and I ask all other public servants and leaders to do the same so that we can join the nation in this period of mourning and deep reflection. Our former Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga, shall be accorded a state funeral with all attendant honors.
Odinga died on Wednesday in India after suffering cardiac arrest while receiving medical treatment. Overnight, the United Kingdom has announced a major sanction package targeting Russian oil producers Rosneft and Lukoil, along with numerous vessels linked to the so-called Shadow Fleet. Foreign Secretary Ved Koppers told Parliament these are among Britain's strongest measures yet to tighten economic pressure on Russia. Over now to Uyi Agbomofuegbe as he completes the report.
The new sanctions list includes Rosneft and Lukoil, two of Russia's largest oil companies, as well as over 50 tankers tied to shipping networks that evade existing restrictions. Yet Cooper warned that energy revenues must not fuel Moscow's war efforts, saying the UK will not allow Russia hide behind sanctioned vessels and complicity from third-party traders.
With immediate effect, we are sanctioning Russia's two largest oil producers, Rosneft and Lukoil, the two biggest Russian energy firms ever targeted by UK sanctions. Part of an extensive new sanctions package of 90 targets, including refineries around the world that are responsible for importing Russian oil, suppliers of drone and missile components, and 44 shadow fleet vessels.
Cooper emphasized the need to target not just oil producers, but the shadow fleets operating in the margins of global trade, asserting that there should be no safe haven for ships facilitating sanctioned oil flows. The package also extends sanctions to complicating actors, including companies in India and China that enable Russian oil to enter global markets. She further stressed that this move sends a clear signal: Russia must be barred from participating in mainstream energy markets.
We're also strengthening our coordination with the EU, who are finalising a new wave of sanctions, and we are urging countries across the world to go further, working with us in targeting Russian oil and gas.
She reiterated that alongside these sanctions, the UK will ramp up diplomatic efforts and pressure on states that facilitate illicit oil trade, insisting that unilateral sanctions must be backed by international coordination and enforcement. With these measures, London seeks to strangle a vital revenue stream for Russia's war machine, making a bold statement on economic warfare and signaling the UK's intent to lead the sanctions push on energy. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
In sports stories now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has charged the Super Eagles to secure qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the playoffs following their emphatic 4-0 victory over the Benin Republic. The president congratulated the team for keeping the nation's hope alive with their dominant performance at the Godswill Apabio Stadium in Uyo, which secured their place in the African playoffs. Tinubu praised the Super Eagles for their hunger, passion, and determination displayed on the field, noting that the superlative performance has reignited Nigerians' football pride. In the meantime, Nigeria's Super Eagles will square off against Gabon in the semi-finals of the African Zone playoffs for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Following the conclusion of the group stage, the three-time African champions stormed into the playoffs with an emphatic 4-0 thrashing of Benin Republic, sealing second place in their qualifying group. Gabon also booked their spot after a 2-0 win over Burundi, aided by Ivory Coast's victory against Kenya, which left the Parthians in second place in Group F. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. The Senate will on Thursday screen Professor Josiah Amopitan, President Bola Tinubu's nominee for the position of the chairman.
Congratulations to His Excellency Barrister Dr. Peter Ndubuisi Mba on your decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. I am delighted to know that you have made a carefully thought-out decision to pitch tent with the Progressives under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This is not only historical, but evidently a bold move that is guaranteed to better position the good people of Enugu State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency. This is signed by Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former National Chairman, All Progressives Congress.
Now that's it on Global TV News Prime. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you so much for being there. Good evening.